Yes, good morning students. So let's begin from where we have ended in the last class. So the further topic is rise of new classes. So in this topic we will see how the new classes emerge in India by seeing its wealth, and in order to make their own fortune, how they migrated to India and how the new classes has emerged within this country. So thousands of years, that is from the period 700 to 750 AD, many invaders came to India like Muhammad Ghori and Mahmud of Ghaznavi. The main purpose was to make their fortune, because during that period it was considered as a wealthy country, that is India. Later on, a group of people from Central Asia, Mughals, also invaded. As they invaded India, they make this land or accepted this land as their homeland, and they started living here. And when they invaded here, the Delhi Sultanate came to an end. Later on, Rajputs, a group of new classes, also emerged. Rajput, which it was derived from the word Rajputra. It was termed as the name Rajput is considered as for bravery. Then later on, many other classes, or you can say the groups of people, also emerge in India: Jat, Sikhs, etc. Second point, economic change. During the time of Delhi Sultanate, forests were cut down in order to transform it to a farmland. When forests were cleaned, it was been cut it out. The dwellers who were living in the forest, they migrated to another place, and many of the people started doing farming. Later on, the peasants, agriculturists, a class also formed, the people who engage themselves in farming. When they do farming, they pay tax to their lords, the landlords, what we say in today's scenario. Then again, during this period, in the medieval period, many jatis were also formed and sub-jatis were also being formed. Later on, during the medieval period, as the people migrated to India, they brought some new ideas and innovations with them, like Persian wheel, which were used for irrigation. For weaving, a new technique was there. Paper were used for writing. Along with that, foods and new items were also being introduced. Third point, that is rulers. During the medieval period, many small kingdoms emerged. As far as not only that, the period where the small kingdom were emerged, there was a great conflicts among them. One of the most highly conflicts were among the three groups, that was Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas. These three clans, there was a conflict just for a single purpose, and the purpose was to increase their land area, or you can say in order to expand their kingdom. And the main purpose was to get a control over Kannauj and Gigantic Plain, which was a fertile land. The struggle of these three kingdoms among themselves, the historians named it as tripartite struggles. Later on, as we now will talk about in the southern region, in the southern region, Chola's empire were fostering themselves and was having a glorious period till 12th century. Not only in India, they expand their trade overseas. Many magnificent works were also done during the time of Chola Empire. They built the temples which are still existed today. The finest example is Brindeshwar temple. Is one of the magnificent work that even exists today. It was a work which is done under Chola Empire. Later on, the Delhi Sultanate, the 5 different kind of rulers ruled From slave dynasty, it was Lodi dynasty, Sayyid dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty. Like this, the 5 dynasties ruled over Delhi. Later on, Delhi Sultanate came to an end when Mughals conquered India and make it as its homeland. Next point is languages and region. Language and region. In 1318, Amir Khusro, in his book, he mentioned that during that period, in the medieval period, many different kind of languages were spoken by the localite people. There was Gujarati, Lahori, there was Sindhi language, Hindvi, Awadhi, etc. But Sanskrit does not belong to any particular region. Sanskrit was a dialect which was generally used by Brahmins, or we can say priests, in their work. Next, old and new religion. For a long course of period, we can say for 1,000 of years, many transformations came place in the belief, customs. In the Hinduism, people started worshipping to the various deities. They follows the various customs and traditions. Sanskrit, which was not able to understood by a common people, Brahmins make it as their, what we can say, when a local people was unable to understand that language Sanskrit, and all the religious text which was been written in Sanskrit, only Brahmins were able to know what it is there. So in order to interpret it, Brahmins, generally local people visit to Brahmins, so that Brahmins, or you can say priest, they rise up their authorities in an upper level, and later on many other rulers also supported them. Later on, many other religious, you can say, authorities, or you can say dharam gurus also invaded, and they teach us the local people that there is no need of priest or any Brahman for to reach the God. Your love and compassion to the God, one can what we can say, अगर आपको अगर प्रभु से अपने प्यार है, तो कोई भी इंसान उनमें अगर मलिन हो जाए तो किसी प्रीस्ट या किसी साधु या किसी की आपको आवश्यकता नहीं है, आप अपने आप को समर्पित कर सकते हैं. Then later on, by the 7th century, when the traders and the merchants also invaded India from the other region, from the west, a new religion, that is Islam, also came in India. Their religious teacher follow the message of Islam, the holy book, that is Quran, what it is written in it, Allah, the most merciful, magnificent, the beneficent. Then they inspired the people, they spread this religion. Then again it forms the two sects, that is, one sect was Shia Muslim, those who believe that Hazrat Ali, the son-in-law of Muhammad, as their leader, and second sect was Sunni, those who believe that the authority of Khalifa, they believe in the authority of Khalifas and their teachings. Later on, many other new religions were also formed, like Sufism. These were the people who introduced Sufism in India in a common language which the people was able to understood. In this pattern, in this chapter, we came to know how and what was the thing that happened in the early medieval period and what kind of changes had happened in the ending time. So I hope you guys understood. Thank you. That's all for the day.